All right, I want to be honest with you about something, and it will probably annoy you a little bit. So, to give you some sort of background to this whole thing, when I started as a marketing manager in clinics, I was brought on to manage the agencies that we were working with. So, they were working with a couple of agencies at the time, and my whole job was to manage them and to do like the in-clinic promos, the events, the talks, everything like that. But I came in with experience on running ads on both Google and Meta. So I had this deep understanding. I knew exactly what was going on. I'd done this in my previous own business. I'd done this for other businesses as well. So I could talk the talk and walk the walk. So then when I was looking at what these agencies were doing, specifically, let's look at Meta as an example. So when I was looking at these, the Meta agency, they were hiding behind a lot of numbers and a lot of jargon. And I'd speak to the clinic owners and they would say, oh, I don't understand. Like they would just yap on about loads of different stuff and we never really got anything out of it. And that was true. But I understood not just like the cost per lead and cost per acquisition, but other metrics that we'd look at. So we'd look at thumb stop, we'd look at click-through rate, link click-through rate, CPMs, like all these different metrics, which I could question. And then this really surprised me. I saw the ads, obviously, that they were running in our account, but then I could see the other clinics that they were working with and what ads they were running. They weren't any different at all. They were exactly the same. So what was happening is they were literally hitting duplicate and copying it from one campaign to another, or copy and pasting. That was how simple it is. Which, there isn't anything really wrong with that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What I am saying that it's a bad thing is when you're charged agency prices for that. That does not make sense. Because if you're selling the same quote unquote product, being if I am selling a water bottle, one water bottle to another, and it's exactly the same thing as a black water bottle. I say that because I have a black water bottle here. If I'm selling that same thing from one to the other, then you're going to use pretty much the same sort of language and ways to describe it. Whereas in MSK, what we are selling is the same outcome, being you want someone to be able to play with their kids again, pain-free. That's it. So the way in which we market it is going to be actually quite similar. That's the crucial part. But this is where agencies should not need to then charge an absolute fortune for this. And I am not against agencies, even though you may see that from what I say. What I am against is agency prices on products that don't need, or services that don't need agency prices. If you have some super unique, like e-commerce product or service that needs a lot of intricate ideas and ways in which you're going to get the messaging across, then yes, agencies are great because they're going to be able to help you do that. But you should only use them for a set period of time, and then you can bring the marketing in-house again. What I just don't understand is these agencies who charge agency prices for cookie cutter type results. And that's the frustration which I've found speaking with loads, like hundreds of different clinic owners. But yet they then go back to the agency because an agency seems like a safe bet. But they're just going to run the same thing over and over. And even these agencies, I've seen behind who you may look up to and think, oh, they're going to be a good agency. They're using Canva templates. They're using different things. That's what I want to show you, how you don't need these agencies or the agency prices to be able to get better results. You can do it all by yourself. And I'm going to show you that.